Hello, everybody. I can't believe it. It's June, officially June, and I'm feeling the stress of why haven't I gotten all my plants out yet? Case in point, the rice here. Why is it still here? Granted, the weather hasn't, been super cooperative. Still has some chilly nights there, but the rice would have been fine. But well, it's gotta happen. The thing is, I had started acclimating this to the outside, hardening it off, as they say, and then I had to bring it back in, and stuff happened, and then I just left it in for, let's say, just a week at least straight. So now I feel like I have to start the hardening off process again. So that's what I'm started today. Instead of planting it out like I should be, it's gonna do a few more days of acclimating because it's going into pretty intense sun when it gets out there. So I do I I do want to give it its best chance. Aside from that, I have a boatload of plants that still need to be planted. Where? I don't know. And then I gotta sow some more seeds. I keep hearing that I still have enough time. So here they are, the last of the seeds for June anyway. Starting with, what is this? This is a bush bean. I was looking for a pole bean, but I keep forgetting to order more because I've run out of them now. I ran out of them 2 years ago and I still haven't restocked. So this is the Maxibel haricot. This is Armenian cuke. The cucumbers I sowed early on failed. One just rotted, I guess. Like, what is that called when the stem just gets to mush, or maybe something bit it. It was outside hardening off. I think it got bit by like the chipmunks or squirrels or something. Chipmunk probably, or a mouse. And that was the end of it. And then I planted out the Armenian, and then the nights got into the 40s, and or it just got eaten. I don't know, but it just disappeared. So I'm starting again with the cucumbers. This is the Boston pickling. This one is, we're going with the cantaloupe. This is the Minnesota midget. This is Haley's best and Grid the cantaloupes. And then the melons, we've got Noir de Carme, Sugar Baby, Crimson Sweet. And then this is okra, which I just didn't care anymore. So this is a mix of Clemson, Spineless, and Heavy Hitter. And then this is a pumpkin seeds that I saved. So I have no idea what kind of pumpkin this is. This is Italian striped zucchini. And last is acorn squash. I'm not going to do butternut squash this year because, I mean, they do great and everything, but we don't really eat them, really. What's not in those containers is basil. I need a boatload more basil than what I have, which is just, I think what kind of basils are those anyway? Thai basil, I think, is what ended up out there. I have no regular basil. I sold them all, and I didn't sow enough to begin with. So I'm super, what's the word? I don't have any basil. So basil is gonna, get directly sown. I am gonna sow these in starting trays because the likelihood that the seeds are just gonna get dug up and stolen or just rot away is very high. And I don't have time for that. So I have to make sure that they come up and then transplant them as soon as possible. And in order to do that, I gotta plant out the leftovers here. Because I already had these trays ready, and I'm not gonna waste all this good soil. So these are the, what is it called? Alice's Dream tomatoes that need to go out. This is like the later sowing of it. This is honey drop seed. This is a husk cherry tomato. No, is that a tomato? No, what the heck is it? Anyway, this is French marigolds. What is this little thing? These are rosemary, 2 rosemary. This little thing is a pepper of some kind, devil's tongue. Yep, that's gonna be living its better life indoors at some point because that's not gonna make it this year. And then these are Roselle hibiscus. This one started dying, but then it came back. So yeah, I still have 2 of those. So I have a pretty good idea where these are going. So I'm gonna get those out first things first. And then I got a major cleanup. Well, I've got a major cleanup everything, but on top of the list for the week is clearing out, and I probably already mentioned this and haven't done it, the Asian greens that have gone to flower, which are at the bottom of this tier. And then I have some onions left, second sowing that I did, in the winter that I can plop in those spaces. And then, yeah, got a whole bunch of stuff. Like I don't have enough space for the extra. I don't know why I ended up with so many eggplants. What the heck? But I don't have space for these, so these are just gonna be sacrificed. And I have a whole bunch more marigolds. Nobody bought flowers this year for some reason. I have a whole bunch of parsley there that's not gonna get planted because there's no space for it. Yeah, yeah. And then I got that whole space to tackle. That hasn't been touched aside from the dog trampling through it. And I got like spinach bolting. The lettuce there still has, some life to it. There's some peas that are probably coming up, so I gotta keep up on the watering. And then those containers have blueberries, and those also need to be kept up on. It's just so much. But first things first, I think for today, I will be planting out this tray so that I can have space to sow those seeds I am soaking for a few hours. So the tomato's easy because I left space for it. And while we're here, we'll plunk in some marigolds too. As I'm digging around here, I'm finding a few volunteer tomatoes. And one of these years, I'd like to just let them go and see what comes up. Hopefully, it'll be a purposeful decision and not forced upon me. I'll come through and mulch this later on. May not be the best place for the roselle, but this is where they are. One's right there. Can't even tell. And definitely can't tell that one's over there because it's super tiny. Next. This container is supposed to be growing peanuts, but the likelihood of that happening is looking like slim to none. So I'm hedging my bet and planting the husk cherries in here because I think that'll be a better purpose for it than waiting for some non-existent peanuts. All right, all I have left is the honey drop, some more French marigolds, and the rosemary. The rosemary I'm going to put in a tiny container since they're super tiny still and just leave that out. The honey drop I'm going to put somewhere in the patio, and the French marigolds I'm waiting for another container situation. I've had pretty good results with my cherry tomatoes right here on the porch, and I let it climb, and I get a string and I string it up to the ceiling there. So hopefully the honey drop will live. It should. And typically I get plenty of volunteers all along this uh, space in between here. But I haven't looked that closely, but I'm sure there's some. And the rosemary ended up getting into a little pot, in a bigger pot, Now I'm gonna get like a saucer, and it doesn't even have to be a real saucer, maybe just a plastic bag to hold more moisture in this bag. Not for what's in it currently, which is a celery that's going to seed. I don't think it's focusing, but anyway, I could put something else here, but only if it gets better moisture retention. Last thing left in this container are the French marigold, which I will also pot up into a small container and save for another day for another location, and then I'll get my container back for those seeds that I'm soaking. Two last plant outs while I'm here. I have this bolted cabbage that I'm gonna pull out, cut out, and then I have sad Brussels sprouts that need a home. And I have another one in there. I'm gonna replace these guys. We have a nice little onion coming up here. I'll have to remember that next time I make dinner, needing onions. And here's the other cabbage that's gone to flower. Got warped because of being under the cover. But all the other greens in here look real good. All right, that's planted. Ignore the weed. And then appears this broccoli is done, which is to be expected. It's getting hot. But since I didn't plant it early enough, it, yeah, don't have much to speak of as far as broccoli is concerned. But this will go out and eventually something will take its place. Probably another broccoli. Well, that's it for today's video. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on, well, whatever I get up to next. And thank you, neighbors, for running your machines. But looky, they finished the carport. Yay, so cool. Good job, guys. All right, talk to you all again soon. So I'll harvest more. Bye. And some yummy greens for the chickens.